What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Al King, back on at again with another banger for y'all's out here today there, y'all. Guys, welcome on back to the channel. And y'all, guys, I got ourselves a good one here today. We gotta talk about the top 3 best Star Wars shows as of right now, here in 2024. Now, if you watch this video a couple years or 5 years later, if the algorithm somehow make this shit go viral, which you already know how YouTube algorithm work, shit blows up out of nowhere 2 years later, 4 years later. Just know, I'm talking about as of right now, 2024, the top 3 best Star Wars TV shows of all time. Let's go into it, because since my last video, the top 3 worst Star Wars films in history, not films, TV shows in history, I saw that one get some traction, so I say, you know what? Let me talk about this one right here. Top 3 best TV shows as of right now regarding Star Wars. Coming in at number 3, Andor. Andor, guys, is such a masterpiece. Like, when I watch this, man, this show right here is so fucking trash. And guys, this show is actually on my other list. So if you want to go watch the top 3 worst Star Wars TV shows of all time, you can check out my other video. Andor definitely made that list. But enough with this fuck shit. Let's really get into it. So coming in at number 3, we gotta talk about Ahsoka. Ahsoka gets to number 3. She gets the number 3 spot. Why do I say Ahsoka? Now, the thing about Ahsoka, now I put it at number 3. I will admit, this show has some really great moments, but at the same time, it's not my favorite show. And because there is lack of Star Wars TV shows that are really outstanding, this show, I'll be honest, it's pretty average. It has some really great scenes, but this TV show could have been a lot better. I really did not think this TV show really reached its maximum potential as it really could. And the way Ahsoka got introduced for the first time, when we saw her back in The Mandalorian, when she first got introduced, that was the coldest scene I've seen in Star Wars in a long time. Like, I love that scene when Ahsoka got introduced for the first time. Seeing her with the lightsabers and just the fight scenes, that was honestly the best we got of Ahsoka in The Mandalorian versus her own show, which is a big downfall for Ahsoka. But at the same time, I can't trash this show because I still have fun with it. I still definitely enjoyed it. And the best parts of it was definitely when the flashbacks to the Clone Wars. And on top of that, I really enjoyed seeing Anakin Skywalker pop up and seeing that whole, basically them two talking, and then seeing, the most iconic scene was probably definitely when, Anakin Skywalker was walking up on, Ahsoka, and he was like in his, his normal, form and everything. And then you see like the Force Ghost or whatever just flashes, and you see Darth Vader, him changing, just for a brief moment. That was a pretty cold scene right there. Like, that was savage. I did enjoy certain scenes for that. Like I said, this show has some really good scenes, and that's why I really do like this show. But at the same time, the story was pretty bland at parts too, which is one of the reasons I had to put Ahsoka at number 3. I still enjoyed it, but I just felt like they wasted a lot of potential with this show with Disney. Hopefully, whenever we do get a season 2, hopefully it makes up for that. But enough of Ahsoka. Let's move on to number 2. Number 2, I gotta give it to, honestly, I wanted to put this one at number 1, but the only reason I didn't, I had to take a step back because I am biased towards this character. I'm a big fan of this character. I know a lot of people call this show mid, but I don't give a fuck. But we gotta talk about our boy Boba Fett. The book of Boba Fett gets the number 2 spot. The only reason it didn't get number 1 is because you already know where I'm finna head with this, with number 1. But the book of Boba Fett was a solid TV show. They had some great showcases, gunslinger moments, and the best part too, seeing Boba Fett survive. Knowing that he actually made it. That was the best part, because I always enjoyed the character of Boba Fett. Like, my early stages of getting into Star Wars, my first character I really enjoyed, because the first time I ever even touched Star Wars, because I never watched the film, it was The Force Unleashed. And when I saw the character Starkiller for the first time, that made me fall in love with Star Wars. Like that was the most savage, insane like thing that really introduced me to Star Wars. But after that, you know, when it comes down to me watching the movies, I always thought Boba Fett was such an iconic and really cool character and something different from the Jedi. And it's cool to see bounty hunters, and I just thought the entire costume looked really amazing. And the rockets, the dude can fly. Like, I mean, dude was savage, you know. And Boba Fett, he got some crazy lore story, and just his story in general is really, really like outstanding. You know, seeing him like grow and watching his dad, you know, Jango Fett, you know, seeing how that whole thing happened, like, you know, like there is a lot, and like really a lot to unpack with Boba Fett, and I really enjoyed what we got. And the best part about the Boba Fett, you know, like the book of Boba Fett, in my personal opinion, was probably the Sand People, the Tusken Raiders. I really love to see them, like just the way how they was portrayed in such a different way than what we are used to. Because you're like, we're just used to seeing like the mayhem of the Tusken Raiders versus the book of Boba Fett. He was pretty much friends with the Tusken Raiders. You know, he learned how to talk with them and everything, and got into the culture and, you know, showed a different side of the Tusken Raiders. I enjoyed that. That was really cool. And, you know, it definitely touched on a lot of areas that, you know, that you just don't really see in a lot of Star Wars nowadays. It touched on spice, you know. Very rare do you hear spice come up in Star Wars. So that was pretty awesome to see. And see just a lot of things play out. Now, could the story been better at many parts? Absolutely. But this this TV show had so many like great things to it, which is why I had to put it at the number 2 spot. Now, coming in at number 1, this should not be a surprise. I gotta give number 1 to The Mandalorian. Mandalorian is the best Star Wars TV show, hands down. Now, I'm a massive, massive fan of like anything bounty hunter related. Like, I love it, guys. So when I saw The Mandalorian came up in there, I was just like, this TV show really like went savage with everything. You got Luke Skywalker introduced. Even though I thought his scene could have been a bit better, in my personal opinion, when he got introduced, you know, like, but at the end of the day, it was still a solid scene. And then seeing Bo-Katan pop up in there, you got Ahsoka. Like, you saw some really great characters come up in there. Now, did the show fall off a bit? Absolutely. You know, with that last season, there was parts in there I was just like, they ain't had to do it like that. But at the same time, like, so many awesome characters got introduced. And then on top of that, The Mandalorian has never been a show that really needed all these other characters to make it good. Like, no, our main character, this guy right here, hey, that's all you needed right there. Him and Grogu, like them two, that's the like perfect duo right there. And it's cool to really see a story like that. And yeah, they did a great job with that. And shout out to Bryce Dallas Howard. I think she directed it, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, she gave us freaking the best Star Wars TV show right there. Yeah, like that's outstanding. And just the cast and everything, even though it had some drama, you know, with the whole Gina Carano situation, even with all that, this show still managed to stay really good. Like, round of applause. So yeah, that's hands down the best TV show we got from Star Wars. And one more thing I do want to say, my only con with this show, I wish we would have got some flashbacks or something talking about what's the name? What's the name of this? Dark Revan. There we go. Dark Revan. Dark Revan should have got mentioned at least some point in this show, because if you know the lore about Dark Revan, you know he took out a good amount of the Mandalorians. If you know that, he should have been mentioned at some point throughout the entire history of the Mandalorians. Should have been, but unfortunately, you know, Dark Revan, he wasn't mentioned. Unfortunately, I wish they would have done something with that. That would have been a cool scene, flashback, you know. But hey, it is what it is. It's still a solid show. But that's really all I gotta say, guys. Let me know what you guys think. Do you guys agree with me? The top 3 best TV shows in Star Wars right now. Yeah, let me know what you guys think. It's your boy Al King. Like and subscribe, share. I'll be catching you guys on the next one. Y'all have a good one.
I possess all your dreams. A demon preys on the weak. You better watch out for me. Mistakes were made, you will see.